My name is Success, and I'm the Leadership Skills and Development Coordinator. I've been the one communicating with you all. And today we are having the first session for the Business Plan Development Focus. We have with us our speaker, and in a short while, I'll be introducing him. But in the meantime, I want to encourage us to make this very interactive. Our speaker, our presenter is an industry professional, and he really wants to have a conversation with us all on this topic, where to start when conducting a market research. So thank you very much for joining in and on time. So I will be introducing our presenter right now. Our presenter is no other person than Engineer Nnamdi Unachukwu. Engineer and Dr. Nnamdi Felix Unachukwu is a seasoned entrepreneur with over 3 decades of experience across multiple industries, including telecoms, agriculture, education, real estate, and oil and gas downstream. His extensive expertise has been honed through a strong educational background, including a bachelor's degree in electronics engineering from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, an OMP from Lagos Business School, and MBA from the University of South Wales, UK. He also has an MPhil, UCAM, Spain, and a doctorate of business administration from Universidad Católica de Montreal University, Spain. As a business coach, author, public speaker, and founder of DAS Tech Group, he also founded WMI Finishing School, Enoch Petroleum and Chemicals Limited. Dr. Unachukwu is a certified management consultant, a senior fellow at the African Business School, and a senior consultant with Avros Consult Limited. With his wealth of experience and knowledge, Dr. Unachukwu has established himself as a respected leader in his field. He is committed to mentoring and coaching others and has made a positive impact on numerous businesses and individuals. He is married with children and resides in Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to be a presenter in today's webinar. We are honored to have you, sir. And on this note, I would want to hand the presentation over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Success. And thank you, the entire team of WMI. I want to thank everybody behind this serious project of grooming the younger generation. I believe somebody's going to time me. Yeah, because I don't want to waste your time. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. And the rest of the audience, thank you for coming. I'm not going to waste your time, and I believe I will not. I've never wasted anybody's time. So I will go ahead to share what I have. But I want it to be interactive. I don't know, I'm not seeing you very well, but if you ask questions, I'll be able to pick it, or Success will help me. So if I am talking too fast, slow me down. If you have a question to ask, please indicate. I will pause and answer your question. Today is about you, and I really want to make sure that you take something out from here. Yeah, she has read my citation, but part of what I don't put in my citation is my journey as a business person. As I started as an entrepreneur, but I'll call myself a kind of a trainee entrepreneur when I was 11. When I say that I started when I was 11, I picked something from my mother. So I'm going to share my screen right away. I don't know if anybody seeing my screen?
Yes, sir, you can see it.
Okay, you can see my screen. And today they gave me a topic that says where to start conducting a market research. So like I said, I picked something from my mother. When I mention my mother here, I don't mean that my father was a bad man, no. My father had always wanted me to go to school and don't get distracted with anything, money or business. But my mom, being that I happened to be her first son, will always want me, once school was over, then she want me to be in her store and to help her. So she was into livestock farming, and I was helping her to take care of the birds. From taking care of the birds, when they mature, we go to market together. So I learned how to do livestock farming. And she also graded her or scaled her business to have stores where she was selling mother care. Mother care is things for babies. So I was helping her to sell all those things, like something like feeding bottle, shower, all those things about children. So she upgraded also her business to sell fashion wares for ladies, footwears for men and women. So I was there with her. And the woman also graded up to sell home care materials like foam. So she was a distributor at a company called Sarafom in Lagos, Nigeria. So I also was helping her. So I could say that throughout the time I was at primary to my secondary, I was helping my mom. It got to a point when I was finishing my secondary, that's what they call grade from grade 7 to 12. She was always there, you know, at the point it became a business and she was giving me 20% of whatever I made. So I would say that my mom actually mentored me so much to start what I do. Like I studied electronics engineering. When my mates were thinking of how to get a job and they were running around, I have a good result, or I had a good result, but my mind was, how can I go back to start from where I stopped? So I already had what I wanted to do in mind. So when somebody said, I want to start a business, where to start conducting the market research is inside you. What is called inner conversation. You'll be able to tell yourself, I can actually do this, I can actually do that. You look at the passion you have. Why I told that story, because some of you will be saying, but I cannot, not knowing that you can. It's just because you've not been able to search inside you to discover who you are. By the time you discover who you are, you'll be able to say, oh, how do I then position? Now, you look at the thing you have a passion for, then when you know what you are passionate for, you subject yourself to training. In the course of training, you will know your craving. You will understand what really makes you, something that anytime you are doing it, you are very excited. There are people that when it comes to cooking food, comes to attending to people, taking care of people, in terms of hospitality, they just enjoy it. So that idea you have, your craving, you see where you are driving at. So that's what I say, that it has to start inside you. Where do we start? The research starts inside you. You need to search out what you can do, what you enjoy doing, what you know how to do. Start from the known to the unknown. Most time people want to start from the unknown. You could see someone who has skill set, but he's looking down on those skill sets, thinking of how to start it big. You need to start from that small, then to climb. The way up is down. So when you start from that's where you have competence, then you begin now to climb. Remember what I'm saying, where do we start? Oftentimes people jump into conducting market research without conducting, without introspecting to know yourself. Now, when you introspect, another thing you will know, you'll be able to discover your strength, your weaknesses, where you have strength. There are people who are strategists. They know how to strategize. They may not know how to market. They may not know how to galvanize and organize, things. But in terms of strategy, where we'll be tomorrow, where we'll be next tomorrow, how we can get there, they can strategize. It could be you. Or you are that kind of person that likes back office. I don't want the front. I do all the back end, do the front. Then you have your strength. So everybody have got their strength. There are people who have fled, they can market, but they are not able to organize. So when you discover your strength, Then you look at your weaknesses. It's either you take more training on how to augment or how to make up for your weaknesses, or you go into a partnership, getting someone who can augment. So remember what I said to you, you must discover what you can, who you are, what you can do. So now you ask me to start a business, it starts from ideation, then the research, the planning, the execution. So I want us now to discuss step by step how to achieve what I just mentioned here about whether the business is a product or whether the business is a service. So it starts from ideation. Let's go to now slide 2, objectives. Objectives. Anything you want to do in life, you start with objectives. The objectives helps you to say, what do I really want to achieve? So how do I know when, or sorry, how do I know what to do to achieve it? How do I know when I've achieved it? So you have the objectives, you have your goals. Your goals are those things when you achieve it, you know that you have achieved it. Now, you look at your research objectives, you look at the goals. So your goal is that, okay, I want a buy-in. Now, your objective is that, let me see what they will tell me. Let me hear from them. That's what your research objectives now. Now, at the end of the day, when they tell you what they want to tell you, you use it to achieve a goal. Now, when you want to ask this question, what you are looking at is, you are asking yourself, what am I going into? What problem do I want to solve? It starts with, what problem do I want to solve? Because every entrepreneur is there to solve a problem. Now, when you begin to ask such questions, the idea, like now, if you're coming from a developing nation economy, there are a lot of problems in the economy. I'll give you one illustration. When I say this, because I say I'll just be discussing with you, I will tell you my life. When I finished my first degree, in my nation, Nigeria, there's what they call 1 year youth service. So during the youth service, I was working in my father's company, but I discovered what people were going through. Then technology was still kind of brewing, it's still coming up. That's 1999-2000. People don't know about email, people don't know about internet. It was still like something, you may not understand now, but it was scanty. Only the banks and big organizations were using it. So because I studied electronics engineering and I found out, there is this thing called internet. And that was exactly I was coming up when the era they call the .com era. So I found out that there is what is called email. I was able to open my first email, 1999, my Yahoo email. If you go there, you see it, namdi19@yahoo.com. So now I found out that people around me in the plaza where I set up something. What was that I set up? I set up what is called internet cafe, where people can come and browse, receive email. But I found out that nobody was coming. I just set up with 2 computers. Remember, I told you that I was serving. So I set up with 2 computers and I got 2 employees, yet I was still a core member. So I found out that nobody was actually coming to patronize us because they don't know what we're doing. So I went out to them. I reached out to them and said, look, I found out that you guys do business, you go for what is called fast messages. You send your fast today, you come back in 3 days to receive a reply from the counterpart, the suppliers, either in China, in Japan, in America, and the rest of them. Do you know I can solve that problem for you? They say, oh, you don't know, is it magic? What are you gonna do? So I asked one of them, give me your business card of your supplier. He gave me, I was able to send an email. Maybe I look at the business card because they're more developed than Africa. So I saw an email address. I sent an email. By evening, there was a reply. I gave him a reply. He said, no, this is magical. What has happened? I said, give me quotation, what you wanting to, the prices you wanting, whatever you want. He sent it to me. By next morning, he got a reply. He told me, what's going on? I said, look, you need to open an email address so you can do it yourself. So that's how I started opening email address for them. I was doing the marketing myself. The people that I had opened their email addresses were doing the marketing for me. You see, I found the need, communication. And they were opening that email address. Everywhere that opened an email address, either those days it was Hotmail or Yahoo, I would charge them $12. And they were paying. And you can imagine, before I could say Jack Robinson, I had opened email address for 2,000 people. I'll be the one to open the email address. I'll be the one to give them password. I'll be the one to be checking their email address instead of them going to the fax machine. And that was a problem I solved. And also I found out that to make a trunk call was too costly. And I felt, okay, there is what is called VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. Remember, we're still talking about how do you do research? You must find a problem. So I told them they can do voice over internet protocol, like what you're doing today with your WhatsApp call is VoIP, voice over internet protocol. So they came and I was charging them 20% or 30% or even half price of what they usually would pay. And that's how that business began to blossom. So first of all, you think of a solution you can profile. How can it be done? Now you query that idea in your head. Who needs it? What can I gain if I solve this problem? It's a risk. You begin to invest your time, energy, and even your money at some point. I could give you further examples, but let me go on. Now, you define the goal. So now it comes to like what we're saying today, how to do market research, methodology. Remember I said, depending on what you are doing, okay, I've talked about a service. Let me talk about a product. Maybe with that product, you'll be able to understand what I mean. I'll give you an example because I do so many businesses. So the product is, I do what is called plaster of Paris, POP. I import it from Turkey, I import it from Egypt. So I found out there is need, and I asked questions to know about my own, if I can bring in my product, what the market needs, what was not existing in the market, what's going on. So the market complained about some qualities that are poor and the rest of them. So I went to Turkey. I sat down with the guys in Turkey, the factory. I said, give me this. Because from the question I got from Nigeria, people give them ones that dry fast, ones that don't dry fast, ones that have particles, ones that are not pure in terms of the color. It has to be white. So we're able to go back and forth in their lab, and they were able to give me the best of the product. I took a sample of it. I came back to Nigeria, and like when we talk about methodology, and I began to go from users to buyers. And they were able to say, oh, this is good, but if they will do more, if they will add, make it dry faster or slower. And I was able to get a product. And that product gained traction in the whole Nigeria. And today it's a household name in Nigeria, in the entire Nigeria. Once they see it, they rush it because they know it has quality. So now that's about research. Now, qualitative analysis for me is what businessmen usually use without knowing it. Without knowing it. The approach must be, this approach is more suitable for business development because you are looking at a focus group. Focus group, you can select it, like I said, you look at the users, look at the customers, you look at the vendors, look at other stakeholders, and then you now know how to collect data from them. To collect data from them, you know, by providing rich understanding of experience, challenges, opportunities across the ecosystem. So these people will be the one to talk back to you, and you are gathering this information that will tell you whether this business, you need to go into it or you don't need to go into it. Don't ever go into business based on imagination. Oh, somebody tells you that he's moving, therefore you want to jump into it. No, you will crash. Don't ever go into a business because you have this biased approach to it or sentiment. You are sentimental about it. No, market research is something you must do with every diligence. So anything you want to do, you subject it to research. Research also you can call it feasibility study. Not business, people call it business plan. It's not business plan. The first thing you do in business is feasibility study. It can take you days, can take you months, can take you years, depending on the kind of business you want to go into or the kind of product you want to push into the market. So this focus group we make up of users, stakeholders. When I say stakeholders, the people that are attached to users, maybe their friends and not the rest of the buyers. Now, when I say buyer and user here, I give illustration of a product that I have, which builders use. Builders may not be the owner of the building, the owner of the real estate, but they will be the one to convince the real estate person to buy that product because they've used it before and it's working well. So you have buyers, you have users, you have policy makers, you have regulators, you have parents. Now, I'll give you an illustration. We have something that is transforming the entire landscape of education in Nigeria. We have a product called WMI. That's why you have finishing school. It's a tool. What does this tool do? Is something we use to campaign for what I call functional education in Nigerian curriculum. Before now, they were using, curriculum that is not 21st century compliant, where they teach only, numeracy, grammar, and the rest of them. The children come out, they don't find job. The children go into crime. They graduate, there are less jobs, so they don't know what to do. So we started an advocacy, what they say, catch them young. And that's exactly what took me back to classes when I was doing my doctoral studies. I took up a course to study what is the best time to train someone to learn entrepreneurship skill. That was when I found out it's between age 7 and 14. So what did I do? I decided to campaign. All of a sudden, the Ministry of Education in Nigeria, my nation, invited me to come and help them create a curriculum. That new curriculum was launched a few weeks ago and is going to be implemented in 2025-26 academic year. What has happened here? When we brought up this initiative, we decided to design tools to help you work, from textbook to digital lab to workbook to all kinds of things that we have been able to design. Now, when we are designing it, we went to educators, the owners of school, we went to teachers, we researched using policy makers, regulators. So we designed instrument questionnaire because it was pure research work, robust research work. So we used Nigeria as a population size. But in that case, we used quantitative analysis. But I know why I cited it. So, but what happened when we were designing the tools? We did what is called outside-in research, outside-in design. We went to the people, the teachers, tested their perception and adoption, and they asked them, what do you want us to produce for you? They told us what they want. We produced it, sent the tools to them, they rejected it. So they rejected our work more than 5 times. I'm going to come to that. Each time they rejected it, my team will be so sad. And we'll come back and begin to do it again. When we went to policymakers, they were canceling it during assessment. They were canceling the work. But something was so strong in my mind that we are about to solve a problem. And if you want to solve it, you solve it very well. So this is what I call outside-in research work. To be able to get the best tools is for educational. Remember, I've given you an example from service to tools and products. I've given you examples. So now when you are researching, qualitative helps you to interview people. Not everything you just make paperwork and you begin to move around, or you have few questionnaire for me, you get confused. There are ones you need to be in the middle of it. So qualitative method is like something that educates you. You are there. You are taking the information. You are bringing up your prototype. People are criticizing it. Let's assume you are here now. You want to be a baker or someone in confectionaries. The first thing you do is that after you thought, you believe that you have learned it and you like it, you make it for your house. Let your parents, your siblings test it. When they test it and you feel they are good, extend it to your friends. Allow them to run critique. So many people don't like somebody to criticize their work. When you criticize, they get offended. No, that's not a mindset of a researcher. Mindset of a researcher is that you brought a prototype, you give it to maybe your sibling and somebody is, oh, this is nonsense. It's so much too oily. Oh, this is not good. It's not crispy. Oh, this cake is not good. It's not tasting well. It's cracking up. It's not binding. A lot of things will come. Be taking notes. Be taking notes. Be taking notes. Now, some of you might like a chocolate cake, but the market doesn't like chocolate cake. You don't begin to produce cake because you like it. You want to produce what the market likes. So now, you create that your instrument. This one, when it comes to qualitative, personal to you, you are the one having the paper, you are ticking. You are ticking. So you might be the one to say, I want to ask 10 people to take responses from these 10 people. You go do the interview yourself. Now, when do you use quantitative analysis? For me, if I advise a business person that is young, that is starting, don't start here. If you start here, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You will have a lot of delays. You have a lot of disappointment. That will be a paperwork. At the end of the day, that paperwork will remain in front of you and you can't do anything about it. But if you have started something and you want to scale it, that's when you may need this quantitative method. The quantitative method will ask, to collect a lot of numerical data for your survey. So what do? You either use a questionnaire. These days, Google has made it easy that you could use a Google questionnaire, push your question to maybe the sample size you want, and then create your sample size, do the calculation using things like Rosoff. And I don't want to sound academic. These are things we did in our PhD work. But you want to scale your business. Either you are getting what is called feedback from your customers and users, so you now know how to position. At the end of the day, you then measure the trend, you analyze it, it gives you insight. It gives you insight as in what you need to do to scale your business. Now, by targeting those who are using your product, who are selling your product, you'll be able to know when to scale. So that's where this one helps you more. But for me, if you want to start a business, go to qualitative method. It gives you ability to question people. Now, know what is that thing that your people in the business are not doing well. That's where you want to bring maybe innovation. What is that thing that when you do, this is called unique proposition. What is that thing that when you bring in, people will flock and come to you? That's something unique about you. So you have to discover it by questioning the people. It might be that you want to know why the people are frustrated about certain kind of product. It might be that the product is too costly. or the product is not affordable. I'll give you an illustration of what happened sometime in Nigeria. You know, milk that people used to drink tea in the morning is one thing everybody, is something stable in Nigeria. Everybody take it in the morning for breakfast. So, but they come in a tin, kind of, they package it in a tin, and it was costly. Some you buy as much as $20, you know, $30. But the one company then came and researched and found out that some of the suburb or the low-income areas, they don't take more of the meal because they can't afford it. And the people said, oh, this is what they take every morning. And these people, they make their money daily, not like they have serious deposit where they keep a lot of money. So what can we do to make it affordable for them so that somebody can come up in the morning and buy a sachet of that milk and have his breakfast? And that, you know what it means, that they now decided to put that milk in sachets. And that's what is going on today. When I was in business school, we studied this case study in 2004. So before now, everybody now went into it. So there's a company called Cowbell. What they did was to put the milk in sachet, and people were laughing at them. Say, look at these guys, they don't know what they are doing, that. Today, every company that is into such business are putting it in sachet because things are getting harder. The economy is not very good. So everybody is trying to see what is affordable. So you are thinking, what innovation can I bring into this business to make it easier for the people? Either you bring it closely in terms of proximity, they take transportation to go buy the food, but if you can move that food joint close to where they cluster, then they will patronize you. So a number of things that are possible. So when I talk now, I talk both because I look at what I call digital literacy, entrepreneurship, beyond just opening other things like I call trade literacy. Beyond trade, today you have a lot of things happening online. You can use online to do. So you ask yourself, what is that thing I know? What can I code? What is that thing people need? You know, what is that thing? Like Facebook started somewhere and it was just an ideation, and they went to campus and see that people were consuming it. A lot of people needed the product, and today it's all over the places. Okay, I've gone beyond methodology. Let me talk about data collection. Data collection, when I talk about primary data collection, it means that data you collect personally. Either you collect it using a quantitative methodology, or you're using qualitative methodology by way of interview. So if you're able to get that data and you subject it to analysis, this analysis, you know, for somebody who has started a business, can afford maybe a statistician, you give it to a statistician and he will run the data, because everything today is about data. So he will run the data for you and say, look, there is still opportunity under that, within that quadrant. So you move in as a new entrant. Don't just jump in. It could be that it's phasing out, because a lot of businesses are suffering what is called disruption today. Maybe what you have in mind has been disrupted. Somebody has found alternative to it. Somebody has found a digital means of solving that problem, and you are going into that business. You go there, you burn your finger. Someone came to me and said, look, doctor, I have a problem. Guys, witches from my village are attacking me. I said, what did the village witches do again? He said, I have a business. I sell video CD. You know what is called video CD? I sell video CD to watch movies, and people come to hire it from my studio, and they go watch movie and they return it. But today it's no longer in vogue. I guess someone is after me. I said, no one is after you, just that this has suffered disruption. So there are alternative ways. Technology has granted people alternative ways. I asked, have you heard about Iroko? Have you heard about so many things you can do? I can't mention them, so I don't advertise them. So, but people now watch this thing online, somebody, buys a little data and they're able to watch. So I said, that's disruption. So if you are going into that business, you need to know what has happened in that business. So the primary source will help you. Now, the secondary source is where you have a lot of information. You need to be a voracious reader in any business you want to go into. You make sure you gather information from existing literature. You make sure you go to resources, that will give you authoritative information like newspaper and the rest of them, which include maybe online research. Today, AI can give you any information you want. Google is there to give you information you want. Even peer interview journals. You hear what others are saying. You hear people's responses. It helps you. So industry reports will tell you what is happening in this industry. Why should I go into this industry? Why should I not go into this? So there are statistical publications that will tell you what is going on. Okay, when I was going into education, tools for education, I looked at the market. I went in to look at the secondary source. I saw that the market is 25 million market, 25 million population for children who are in, I don't know how to put the grade, but in Nigeria, I call it primary school, the basic basic education. So within the band of what they call primary 4 to 6, then what they call junior secondary 1 to 3, they're about 25 million. I said, wow, this market is growing. It's big. And I said, no, it's not just big, it's going to grow because the way the population of Nigeria, according to statistics, will double by 2050. So if Nigeria today is about 210 million or 220 million in population, they will hit 400 million. So this market you are looking at that is 25 million today will be 50 million in the next couple of years, maybe 10, 15 years down the line. I was like, I need to be here. So that's what secondary source does for you if you are able to read and you get all those statistical publications. Now, there are places where their population is thinning out. So if you come to Africa today, you see youth bulge, greater percentage of African population are youth because what they call that's life expectancy in Africa is short. For women, 55, for men, about 45 or 50. So they die young. So more of the population they have is youth. And in Africa, people just give birth in reckless abundance, recklessly. And some even take more than 3 or 4 wives, according to religion, that are also predominant in Africa. So you have a lot of population, the youth bulge, people are growing, the population is growing. So whatever you are doing that has to do with population, you must look at Africa as a serious emerging market. So that helps you in terms of secondary source. Now, you go to data analysis. Let me tell you how you do the data analysis. I've mentioned when I was saying all these things. The data analysis, you can also do the data analysis yourself, depending on who said no to you, who said yes to you. Let me give you one example. If you're a fashion designer here, you're a fashion designer, you're into garment making. How do you know if people will buy your garment? You sew it and wear it. As I'm wearing my suit, I said to you, oh, guys, I made this suit. And somebody said, oh, this is nice. By the time I get information or people selling, maybe about 10 people I will meet, 9 will tell me this is nice. I'll say, wow, how do I know? I'll take a picture of myself, pose, take a picture of myself, go to my Facebook, where I have more than 5,000 followers. And those 5,000 will run comments, maybe, oh, nice on you, this is nice, when can I have? Can you make one for me? And I will see that information. That's data giving me information. So these things are things where to collect your data. Now you run it in your head. You don't even need SPSS to know when it is positive or not. However, when you want to scale, you use statistical tools like SPSS, Excel to interpret your data. Now you also look at expert analysis by asking the expert for certain interpretation, why is this behavior? Why is this pattern? Then they will tell you. Now you look at industry report by looking at established industry, what is going on? Are they closing down? Why are they closing down? There was a time, because I did into oil and gas, so in retail, I wanted to go into retail to have some gas stations. So I went to a particular part in Nigeria called Eastern Nigeria. And when I got there, as I was driving and looking for where to buy, I saw that almost greater percentage of all the gas stations there were shut down. And I didn't ask myself honest question because I made up my mind that I want to deploy one. So I didn't ask, why are they people closing? So I went and deployed. It was not long, we opened it. Kidnappers kidnapped one of my staff. And it led to shutting down because we became afraid. So something, maybe security issue may have happened to a place. That's why you need to open your mind to what is going on. So having said that, now, what do you do? This is my last slide. I like talking and I want people to ask me a question. So, having mentioned that, when you have your prototype subjected to criticism, people would criticize it. So when they run that critique on it, you go back, do something about it, bring it again for assessment. They will assess it, they will run it down again. Don't get offended. Go for further assessment until the final approval. When you know the final approval is when somebody is able to pay for it. Once you conclude one deal, it then means that you have a product, and then you now begin to scale. So when I talk about comparative analysis, it's part of what I've mentioned also. Through a thorough review of industry players has to be conducted. What are people saying about their products? Do I have a chance? Is it a closed market? Is it an open market? Now you look at their challenges, look at their achievements, look at their strategies, and you're able to know where to key in. You must find a window. Now, this process helps you, to draw insight without you being biased. You are being subjective. You are looking at it to understand what is wearing out their profit margin. What is that thing they are not doing well? What can I do to disrupt it and to do something better that will push people to me? So you remain very objective and professional in your approach. Keep studying the competitors. If you have a way, take maybe an employment in that your competitors market, in the competitors company, so you'll be able to understudy. That's why people who come out from certain organization and set up their own tend to do better, because they would have learned what the company is not doing well, and then they will now be able to set up what is called that unique positioning. So following this approach contributes to conducting more effective and credible market research. For us at BMI, many customers turned us down when we started. They turned out our value proposition and said it was not robust enough. But it made us to go back, and we researched for almost 3 years. It's been there for, don't be in a haste. As long as you want to solve a problem, that's some problem when you want to start, it will take you time for it to get to mature. So it has taken us a lot of time. Today, we have so much products. We started with 4 books. Due to how people were criticizing, we are doing more research, without relenting. Until today, we have more than 14 books, tools. We have a lot of digital content. We have designed cartoon series. We have designed all kinds of things, and people were pushing us. Even what we're discussing now is how to discuss, to produce our game module, to use it to teach entrepreneurship. So we couldn't back down. If you believe in it, you see that it's going to solve a problem. The risk of investing your time, your money, we worth it if you will stay long and don't jump the gun. Don't just jump because people are not saying good things about what you're doing. Stay on. Consistency is the game. anything you want to do in life, start it. Don't bother about perfection. Go into perfection. Go grow onto perfection, but remain consistent in what you are doing. And over time, you'll be able to look back and say, oh, I've come a long way and I've done well for myself. So where to start? Summary. You know, I said to you that I don't have long distance. So thank you very much. Well, however, I want you to ask me your questions from where I started, and I'll be able to answer you. I have just 10 minutes to do that.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for that very detailed presentation. We have a question from Mariam here, and she's saying that I believe everyone has a passion. My question is, how do I identify the uniqueness in my passion that differentiates my passion from others who have a similar passion? So I believe she's trying to know, like, how does she identify the uniqueness in that passion she has? And how does she then stand out with people who have similar passion that she has? So how does she stand out in the midst of people with similar passions?
Okay, so Mariam, that's a very intelligent question. Now you have a passion, it's still inside you. That passion, you need to birth it. It comes as a product. If it's not as a product, you will not be able to identify your unique positioning. You will not be able to say, this is what I'm doing differently. Now, where multiple people have the same thing as passion, or they're already driving it, let me say it's a product or it's a service. Now, what makes you an entrepreneur is the ability to creativity, innovation. Now, ability to innovate something kind of add-on that will come into that your service or that your product to make it unique. It could be your packaging. It could be your time of delivery. It could be, depending on whatever you are offering. Everybody will know your style, that this thing is your style. And you stick to that your style and continue to drive it until it becomes a brand. So that anybody that cites it, they say, oh, this is Mariam's product. And when they see it, they will know it's yours. Now, I'm thinking of what to give as illustration. But if you look between mobile phone, iPhone, people use iPhone, people use Samsung, people use all kinds of these things. When iPhone came, the then driver of iPhone, Steve Jobs, came with innovation. What is the innovation? Everybody use computer. Everybody use mobile phone. What can I do to come in between? He came with what is called pad, and he sold. What do people like so much? He came with what is called board, earbud, and all kinds of things. So he came up with a number of innovations that made iPhone unique to tomorrow. So whenever you pick an iPhone, somebody will say, who has the best camera? Nobody debates. They know iPhone is always the best. So, and even if you have an iPhone and somebody has a new Samsung, they will opt to take the phone with the iPhone because they know the unique proposition is in the camera. And the people who buy it, especially people who make short videos today, they go for iPhone, even when they pay more. So your unique position here is, what can I do that causes that differentiation between my product and other people's product? That will be your selling point. But first of all, come up with the product. Let's see the product. Let's see the prototype. You hear? Okay, any further question?
Yes, we have 3 more questions here. The next one is from Mofolo Kondi, and he's asking, do I need to always do a thorough research for me to identify my target market?
Yeah, the word thorough is relative. When I say relative here, it depends on what you mean by thorough. But in everything you want to do, where you want to invest your money and you want to invest big, I will advise you go thorough. Understand the nitty-gritty of whatever you want when you want to invest. However, you can test that moving river with just one leg. So what it means is that you want to do this business, you don't understand everything about this business, you invest small. When you invest small in that business, you monitor how that is growing before you now inject more funds, before you now even borrow money to put in there. So many people go to borrow money and put in investment they have never, a business they've never in their life tested. And oftentimes they come out burning their fingers. But you can do test running, it's part of the research. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, you will know. Now, when they said my target markets, depending on what is called your target market here, you need a lot of information. But if what you mean is thorough here is, do I need now paperwork, get a professor to analyze it? That's where I will go with you, because I don't need professor to analyze some of my market research. I am in the market, I understand the market, I've been working with the people in that market. So staying there in that market, that's why anything you want to do, go there, be there with them, study it, keep studying it. If you take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, keep studying it. When you are studying it, you're not writing anything down, but you are making up your mind. You are doing the research in your mind. You now know where they are buying. You now know who is buying it from them. You now know who are the consumers. At that point, you are deciding a lot of things, that after these 3 months, I will know where to position my business. That study is like research. You are seeing what is going on. You are seeing who are the buyers and what they ask each time they come, and what they complain each time they come. That's what we now have Marianne's question about, what is my uniqueness? What the people are complaining. If you add it to them, it becomes your unique positioning, and it will make you to draw the customers to yourself. Let me take the next question.
Thank you very much, sir. And Mariam is saying, thank you so much, Dr. Unachu, for both a detailed presentation and answering my question. So the next question is from Alfred Kutonda. He says, thank you for your inspiration. Most of us, we have such mind and passion. You've got a chance to be born in a rich and business family, but some of us are struggling to stand by ourselves due to families we are from. If you find yourself like that, you might have a passion to start a certain business and do some research about it, and you can find it smart, but you don't have the means to start it. When you find the means to start, you find others have already done it and succeeded to the extent that you can't compete with them. What can we do?
Okay. The case of coming from a rich family or not coming from a rich family, for me, I don't usually bring it up because you know what it means to be rich. So I could say that I came from a comfortable family, but I was not dependent on my father's or mother's wealth. So I started working for myself, even when I was in the university. However, when you say money is not everything, you are the money. You, depending on what you have transformed yourself to be, ability to invest in yourself. Like this kind of webinar now, you are investing in yourself. You are learning something you don't know how to do. So when you are positioned, you have availed yourself for learning and more learning and more learning. You get to a point that you will see that it's no longer about money. People will be chasing you with money and to invest in you because of what you have done. So there are so many opportunities with low entry, and your abilities will define it. Let me give you an illustration of a young man who was able to do coding. Having an entrepreneurship mindset, he said to himself, I know the way these things are going, because then mobile phone just entered Nigeria. He said to himself, I know that one day they may need what other countries are using, to get everybody to register their SIM card. Before now, it was not done in Nigeria. So when the Nigerian government noticed that people are using it for fraud, they asked for registration of SIM card, and the young man had done a lot of coding. So everybody present do your proposal, present your work. He was able to present his work that his own case, his own user case, suit the Nigerian situation. And they adopted his own and paid him $3 million. He didn't know what to do with the money. He was crazy. Because when they asked him, oh, we can pay you $3 million, he said, no issues, I'm fine. You pay me $3 million. He didn't know they were talking about $3 million. He thought they were saying to him in a local currency of Nigeria called Naira. He said, I'm fine. And they said to him, they gave you a paper to sign. He said, oh, is it dollars? They say it's dollars. He quickly bought a house, went to the mall, and married a wife so that he doesn't squander the money. So I'm just telling you about what you can do without money, with or without money. Don't let money limit you. And one thing that Wealth Mountain is doing for you is to give you the seed capital that will help you to start. So you are very lucky. You are very lucky. So don't limit yourself because of current situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We have an additional question from Derek. Derek is saying, from your experience, sir, what is the best method of being unique? He's asking, yeah, from your experience, what's the best method of being unique?
What is the best method of being unique? Okay, the best method of being unique starts from you. You must understand that you are created uniquely by the Creator. You are born to be a champion. You are born to win. You are just one person. What you call yourself is what you become. So it starts from you. It starts from that inner conversation about telling yourself that you are unique. You are born to be a wealthy man. I've never seen myself at any time that I will be poor. I've never seen myself that I will be poor. So what I kept doing is telling myself, take more education. So every day of my life, I take education. Today, I've read something. Before I go to bed, I must read something on leadership. So when I finish what I'm doing today, I've already booked for AI training, serious, robust AI training. I want to be an AI expert. And people say to you, oh, you got a lot of education, you have money, you have this. I am very busy. So I keep taking in because I know I will give out to people like you. So from you, you are the brand. If you brand yourself very well, people will come for you. So you start being unique from yourself. Then that will be the product you are presenting anywhere will be unique because you are investing in yourself. So everything starts from what you are taking in is what you will produce out. Do you understand me? If you are now an architect and you want to design the best edifice, is based on what you have consumed over time, then something will sort from you, accumulation of what you've been consuming over time. And that's what will make your product unique. I don't know if I answered your question.
Very much, sir. And one thing that stands out is when you say that you are the brand. So the more you consume, the more you develop yourself, the more you stand out. Thank you very much. We have another question from Alfred. And Alfred is asking, okay, let me just read it the way he put it. The second question is
Can I see what you are reading?
Yeah, okay, let me just put it in the chat. He had put it in the
Okay, don't worry. Go ahead, read it. We don't have time.
Yeah, the second question is that many people say that you have to specialize in one particular job or business and avoid to be polygamous, but in reality, it is difficult to excel while doing one full-time job. How do you manage multiple business and still do your job perfectly? Can a healthcare provider like a doctor do some agricultural or construction businesses and still excel in all sectors?
Okay. One thing I found out that people think that multiple jobs is about doing this and doing that, you will wear yourself out. There is no rich man without multiple streams of income. So multiple job is not multiple streams of income. Or that you are a doctor, after this job, you move again and to go and do night job and do another shift, you will wear your body out and you will die. But how do I put it now? Let me give you an illustration. Derek that is listening to me, let's assume you're working in a bank and you own a car. You can actually start another business of Uber or taxi without your car. What do? You know that with Uber, you can't that your car can take you to work in the morning and bring you back in the evening. You hire a young man who will take that your ride, bring you there, use it for Uber. At the end of the day, he takes a commission. It's a multiple stream of income. Another multiple stream of income, like I said, if you know a lot, that today, as I'm talking with you, people are buying my books on Amazon. So there is what is called active income and passive income. My book that is in Amazon, I've written it 2 years ago, and the people are still buying. And now, by the way, I'm writing 3 more books. So they will be there, my passive income. As I'm talking with you here, I have businesses. The passive ones are maybe my real estate. It's appreciating, people are paying me. The renters every year, people pay me. It's my passive income. So multiple stream of income must not be that I do this and I do that. How do I manage all my businesses? When I consolidate a business, get team that can help me in that business, I move into another thing. I don't bring in a lot of things like you said, polygamy, yes. Now, what you do is when you consolidate a business, you go to another business. You can even bring a business that is interwoven. This business needs this. So you do this, you do that. So now, today, make sure that anywhere you are, you create passive income. Passive income can mean that you got somebody who is knowledgeable about a business, you go into partnership with the person. So the person is actively driving that business while your money is working and yielding to you. Now, another thing is, depending on your kind of investment, you invest, you don't just get your money and squander every money. Make sure you save your money. When you save your money, you can now look at someone who is very wise, who have been in the business for upward of 5 years, and invest your little in that person, and the money will be coming in, trickling in from you. Before you could say, Jack Robinson, you have deployed your money in many places. You may say, oh, but I don't have the money to deploy. I'm saying that when you start making savings. Make sure that anything you earn, you save 10% minimum of your money. That you now begin to, diversify. It's called an investment basket. You invest there, you invest there, you invest there, you invest there. Before you know it, you have multiple streams of income. Like I have 8 streams of income, and I told myself that I can make it 15. And I'm working towards making it 15. So I play in the oil and gas, I play in telecommunication, I play in real estate, I play in building materials that I used to do my real estate. I play in education, I'm a consultant. If I tell people pay me, like when WMI say they will pay me, I say, you can't even pay me. I don't have to charge you. So this thing I'm doing pro bono because I want to talk to you. I say, if I give you my invoice, you can't pay me. That's why I say, don't pay me. Because if you pay me, it will mean degrading myself. I have what I charge as a certified management consultant, both in Nigeria and the UK. So you don't need to pay me. I'm doing this free. Now, anywhere I go to talk, they pay me. So it's another stream of income. So, and going forward, you will make yourself an institution that money will keep coming. Money will keep coming everywhere you look. I think have we not stayed up to 1 hour? Because I have an overlapping meeting I need to jump.
Yes, please. And that was the last question. Thank you very much, everyone, for staying put. We had everyone still on the call, which is to show that we've really gained a lot from you, and we were willing to go the extra time just to get a lot from you. Thank you very much, Sai. Such a pleasure having you. Thank you, everyone who have joined today's webinar. And if you need to reach out to Dr. Nnamdi, I can share his email address if that's fine with him. I see someone asking for that.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead, share my email address. I do more on WhatsApp or email address, but you can give them my email. They will reach out to me. My secretary will let me know, then I'll be able to respond to anybody. I want you to succeed, and you're going to succeed. I'm succeeding in Africa, so I believe anybody can succeed. I wrote a book, How I Made My First $1 Million, here in Africa, just 2 years after I graduated from university. So I believe anybody can make it.
Thank you so much, sir. Such a pleasure having you. Thank you, everyone. I'll be in touch with you all on WhatsApp. In the meantime, I think we can call it a day. Thank you. Bye-bye.